I've tried to reason with you. I've tried to show you there's another way.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most insane times Superman stripped back the blue Boy Scout image and really let loose in comics, films, and TV shows.
Lex, I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Heather. Superman, we finally meet. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Number 30. Darkseid Destroyer, Superman the Animated Series.
I can't believe he's blood.
You used me.
I told you once, Superman. If you would not be my knight, you would be my pawn.
I see you're a man of your word.
In the final episode of this cult classic show, the creators gave us what we desperately desired, a full-blown bout between Superman and Darkseid. In Legacy Part 1, Supes had been brainwashed to think he was the adopted son of Apocalypse's ruler.
You've done well, son.
Thank you, Father. As you say, it is our destiny to bring peace and order to the universe.
In Part 2, he gets his memories back and is really mad. After defeating Granny Goodness, the Female Furies, and Calabac with ease, Superman battles Darkseid. However, he's weakened due to the lack of yellow sun energy in the previous battles.
That's for Dan Turpin.
Who?
The good man you murdered.
Had I known one human's death would pain you so, I would have killed more.
As Darkseid taunts Superman about killing those he loves, Clark blocks his Omega beams with his hands, causing an explosion. With a broken Darkseid, Superman throws him to the slaves, expecting some form of crowd justice. Instead, they look after their ruler.
I am many things, Kal-El. But here, I am God.
Number 29. Absolute Power. Superman Batman number 15. Usually when Superman and Batman team up, they do so heroically and with as few casualties as possible.
Did you find the spear?
I've been a little busy.
During the 2005 comic story Absolute Power in Superman Batman, that wasn't the case. The duo had their lives changed when future villains Lightning Lord, Saturn Queen, and Cosmic King went back in time to manipulate their origins, raising them to be their weapons. At one point, this involved Superman vaporizing Green Arrow. However, when Wonder Woman raised a resistance against their rule, she ended up taking Batman's life. Clark, now enraged, held nothing back as he took her life with her own lasso. He then applied similar gestures to the rest of her team. Yikes. Number 28. Yellow Lantern Superman. Injustice Gods Among Us Year 2, number 24. In a world where Superman snaps and becomes a dictator, there are plenty of times he lets loose in the comic series, but none is quite as effortless as this. After Black Canary tries to assassinate him, Superman is inducted into the Yellow Lanterns as he can instill great fear. This allows him to remove the green kryptonite bullet, causing him to seemingly kill her. But he's not done. A powered-up Clark cleaves through the Green Lanterns, coming face-to-face with Ganthet. After shrugging off the Guardian's lethal attack, Superman slams him into the sentient planet and Green Lantern powerhouse member Mojo. Despite both blasting Clark, he pushes the two into the sun. Number 27. Cousin Revenge. Superman Batman Apocalypse. If there's anything to take from this video for villains, never attack Superman's loved ones. In the 2010 animated film Superman Batman Apocalypse, Darkseid didn't heed this warning as he captured his cousin, Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, brainwashing her into the Furies.
Let's go home.
That's the problem, cousin. I'm not sure where home is.
When she's later released, Darkseid arrives to attack Earth. After whacking Superman into space, Darkseid and Kara battle furiously.
There's more where that came from.
Fearless, untapped power. It would have been a glorious life for you, captain of my honor guard. Instead, my Omega beams will reduce you to ashes.
Take your best shot.
He eventually knocks her out. Now enraged by the attack on his cousin, Supes flies in and combats Darkseid, devastating the landscape. Just as Darkseid gets the upper hand, Kara opens a mother box, allowing Superman to blast him into the portal with the threat that if he returned, he won't be going back to Apocalypse.
Don't ever come here again, or you won't be going back.
Number 26. Superman the Executioner. Superman number 22. Often, comic covers can be misleading about what actually happens in the panels. However, 1988's cover of issue 22 of Superman barely did this. Essentially, all that was misdirection was the hood. It features a tale that had notorious Kryptonian criminals General Zod, Zaora, and Quexel running rampant in the Pocket Universe, laying waste to the Earth and its heroes. Superman was alerted to the danger and entered to stop them. With the Kryptonite not affecting him as it's from this universe, Superman used gold Kryptonite to take away the trio's powers. However, after they declared they would get their powers back and would destroy Superman's Earth, he whipped out the green Kryptonite, taking their lives. Zaora even offering services as she perished was haunting. Number 25. Half Doomsday. Superman Doomed Number 1. Doomsday is one of Superman's biggest baddies. He constantly evolves, making weaknesses no longer a problem. Well, in the 2014 Doomed comic story, he took things up to a massive level. Simply by being in his vicinity, material will disintegrate due to his toxins. This caused him to wipe out 1 million animals within a day, making the wildebeest endangered and severely injuring heroes and killing civilians. When Superman faced him, he had no choice but to go all out against the behemoth as he took Doomsday into space. Even though he incinerated the creature, Doomsday came back for more. With no choice, Superman tore Doomsday in half, inhaling the ashes and becoming infected with the Doomsday virus. Number 24. The Solar Flare. Superman number 38. Superman is well known for having a lot of OP abilities. However, none of those comes close to his solar flare. In the 2015 story The Men of Tomorrow, Clark met Ulysses, a character who shares a similar origin to his. However, when Superman inadvertently destroys Ulysses' great world, the two go to battle as Ulysses announces his intention to obliterate Earth. During it, Clark blasts him with his trusty heat vision. However, with Supes using his heat vision to its limit, the new solar flare power erupts. All of Clark's cells send out their stored solar energy, causing a massive wave of explosive force. If Ulysses were not superhuman, he'd have been turned to dust, just like the landscape was. Number 23. Infected Superman. Deceased number 5. In a world where a corrupt anti-life equation has essentially turned people into zombies, there's drama and darkness at every turn in the comic series Deceased. Superman becomes infected when taking out a rampaging Flash. Before he can get far enough away from Earth, the equation takes over, turning the planet's biggest hitter into its worst nightmare. This infected Superman obliterates a New York City building with survivors within. He then levels most of the city. Even after Wonder Woman battles him with a green kryptonite magic sword, Superman still infects her. Next, he tries to stop the survivors from leaving, only being stopped by his son. When the numbers against him are too much, Superman goes into the sun and slowly drains it. Number 22. Destroying the World Forgers Multiverse. Justice League number 25. With the Legion of Doom and the multiverse-creating Celestial Perpetua threatening existence, Superman entered the 6th dimension in the same-named 2019 story to stop them. However, within moments, an older Superman appears. That wasn't Clark, but Perpetua's son Alpheus, aka the World Forger. The real Superman was trapped by him on a barren, sunless planet filled with the remains of other Supermen as his power and essence deplete. After the Justice League realizes the deception, Batman manages to get Yellow Suns into the prison. Clark quickly begins to supercharge, so much so that his flight can be heard across dimensions. He lays up a punch that not only clocks Alpheus but destroys the multiverse he had created. Number 21. Superman Smash. Marvel vs. DC number 3. In the biggest crossover event of the century, the publishing juggernauts of Marvel and DC smashed their universes together in 1996. With a story that one universe would end, a competition was put together, giving fans a chance to see matchups they'd only dreamed about. In issue 3, one of Marvel's strongest heroes, Hulk, took on DC's equivalent, Superman. With the battle taking place in the Grand Canyon, the duo could go to town. The Hulk holds little back with furious strikes and shrugs off mullet-haired Superman's heat vision. Fearing for his loved ones' existences, Supes lets his full might out with a single punch across the Hulk's head, knocking the beast unconscious, a feat very few have replicated. Number 20. Stopping President Luthor. Superman-Batman Public Enemies. While the evil genius isn't usually a physical match for the Man of Steel, the antagonist was able to even the odds with the help of Kryptonite and a powerful suit. Lex initially overwhelmed Superman in a direct fight, but when the villain's plans seemingly lead to Batman's demise, the rage-filled Kryptonian lashes out.
That was my best friend. And you just killed him.
Superman completely disregards Kryptonite-enhanced lasers so he can break Luthor's suit. When the villain was at a vulnerable position, Superman gave his foe an express ticket to the ground and disabled the suit. None of Lex's considerable brain power could save him from the hero's beast mode beatdown.
And I am the president!
Consider yourself impeached.
Number 19. Wrecking One Final Robot, My Adventures with Superman. Before Clark started saving everyone as a world-famous hero, he was just another Daily Planet intern that wanted to be normal. When his co-workers Lois and Jimmy get targeted by a big robot during an investigation, the Kryptonian leaned into his super heritage to save them. Clark got off to a great start by dispatching a mechanical monstrosity with strength and smarts. Unfortunately, he got hurt when multiple robots were sent after him at once. Once Clark saw Lois was in grave danger, he pushed past his wounds and limits and reached an entirely new level of power.
No!
His final punch even sent the robot towards the stratosphere. This victory served as an early sign that this version of Clark was a powerhouse.
A normal man having a normal day, huh? Who am I?
Number 18. Lifting an Island, Superman Returns.
Kryptonite. You're asking yourself...
A twisted scheme from Lex Luthor resulted in the creation of a huge island that was made out of constantly growing crystals and kryptonite. In order to stop the landmass from permanently damaging the Earth, Superman decided to pick it up and put it down in space. The fact that he was able to lift something island-sized is impressive on its own. But what makes this feat more impressive is the knowledge that his greatest weakness was expanding within the landmass too. Although Superman should have been too weak to even think about lifting, he defied expectations and did not stop until the terrible island had been sent into the vacuum of space. His unbreakable willpower showed everyone why he was nicknamed the Man of Steel.
You will make my strength your own. You will see my life through your eyes.
Number 17. Beating Bizarro, Superman and Lois. During this superhero series, we're introduced to a Bizarro Man of Steel that has all the strengths of Superman with slightly different powers and weaknesses. He inevitably found himself trading blows with a traditional version of the Kryptonian.
I'm not gonna let you kill anyone else.
The classic Superman punched Bizarro through buildings and unleashed tons of abilities. When powers alone didn't do the trick, the good Clark took advantage of his enemy's weakness to a substance called X-Kryptonite. Superman decided to hold two of the crystals in his hand and to not stop punching until Bizarro was unconscious. Clark's vicious tactics kept his enemy from committing more acts of violence.
I should have killed you.
You tried. More than once.
Number 16. Crushing Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, Justice League Unlimited. After Lex Luthor built a mysterious device underneath a city, Superman was unwilling to let it operate freely. But when the Kryptonian tried to stop it, Captain Marvel defended the villain's invention.
You can't just... That's it. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
It didn't take long before a verbal disagreement turned into an all-out brawl between the godlike heroes. Although Captain Marvel's combination of formidable strength and magical powers was a problem, Superman kept overwhelming his foe at every turn. The fight led to the savage moment where the Man of Steel forced Shazam to get hit by magical lightning. We understand exactly why Captain Marvel resigned from the Justice League after this brutal clash.
Shazam! Fight's over, son.
Number 15. Reversing the Earth's rotation, Superman. There was a moment where it appeared that Christopher Reeves' Superman had lost Lois Lane due to a tragic accident. After holding her in his arms, the Man of Steel realized that he couldn't accept her death. Overcome with emotion, Superman flew into space and moved so fast that he reversed the rotation of the Earth. His beast mode actions broke the natural laws of physics and allowed him to reverse time. Once Superman went back far enough, he casually started moving forward in time and returned to find that Lois was alive again. Although the science of how any of that worked was questionable, his speedy time travel made for an undeniably iconic sequence.
Hi. Don't bother, I think it's dead.
Number 14, making Mongol pay, Justice League Unlimited. The villainous Mongol thought he could trap Superman in a fantasy world and get away with it. But as soon as the hero was freed from the villain's trap, the extremely angry Clark flew to get revenge.
Do you have any idea what you did to me?
Superman mercilessly smacked Mongol around with truly vicious hits. The hero also inflicted pain with his heat vision. At one point, Superman pummeled Mongol so hard that the villain's face was literally bent out of shape.
Do you know what I've lost? What
Clark's friends eventually stepped in and trapped the antagonist in a twisted fantasy. But if Superman's battle had continued, he might not have shown Mongol any mercy. Number 13, an unjust Superman stops holding back. Injustice. Once it becomes clear a murderous variant of Superman won't stop killing, a good version of the Man of Steel is brought from another dimension.
I'm deeply sorry for your losses, but you're on the wrong side of this. No one is talking me out of this, not even you.
After words fail to reach the corrupt Kryptonian, the two trade blows and lasers. The good Clark gets the upper hand at first, but when the twisted Superman gets backed into a corner, he stops holding back. The unjust Kryptonian tosses his opponent around the world. Not only does this twisted Superman uppercut his opponent into space, he also smacks the good Clark down into the earth. It takes a surprise visit from a variant of Lois Lane to calm this corrupted hero down. We're honestly unsure if the good Superman could have stopped his relentless and unjust counterpart. Number 12, stomping out Steppenwolf, Zack Snyder's Justice League. From the moment Superman arrived to confront Steppenwolf, it was abundantly clear who would come out on top.
For Darkseid.
Not impressed.
Although the villain had killed Amazons and Atlanteans with his axe, the weapon was an utter joke to the Man of Steel. Superman continued to embarrass Steppenwolf by outspeeding and overpowering the antagonist with virtually no effort. And, to add insult to injury, Superman deliberately lasers off one of the villain's horns. We almost felt bad that Steppenwolf ended up on the wrong side of this absolute slaughter. But he should have known better than to mess with Earth when this incredible Superman was around.
All right.
Kal-El.
Number 11, Thrashing Darkseid, Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War. In this grim tale, Darkseid rendered Superman powerless before dumping the hero on a dying Earth. When the Man of Steel got his abilities back, he harnessed all his pent-up rage to deliver a harsh beating. Superman unleashed a flurry of devastating blows, and even punched Darkseid when the villain was down.
You took everything from me! Now I'm gonna make you pay!
When the antagonist tried to use his famous Omega beams, Clark attempted to perform some impromptu eye surgery to stop the villain. Superman's righteous rampage was only interrupted when the sinister Trigon tagged himself into the battle.
Go. Unless you would fight me for the right to destroy him.
Darkseid was lucky that a fellow villain spared him from Superman's immeasurable wrath. Number 10, supercharging himself with solar power, Superman and Lois. Allie Alston aimed to become all-powerful by merging two worlds together. To make matters worse, she drained Superman of all his powers. With two Earths hanging in the balance, Clark volunteered to be thrown into the sun to get his abilities back.
Are you sure this is gonna work?
I've never been more unsure about anything in my entire life. But I have to believe it will.
Superman withstands the power of the star and emerges more formidable than he ever was before. He's so mighty that he actually encourages Allie to try and absorb the immense power he held within his body. After it becomes too much for her to handle, he defeats two versions of the villain and captures them. For his victory lap, Clark flies around two Earths and unleashes the solar energy within him. The supercharged Superman's actions shone brighter than the sun itself. Number 9, killing Brainiac, Smallville. you're a teenager, it can be tough to manage your emotions. But add to that superpowers and a psychotic supervillain, and you've got a recipe for some serious mayhem. As Brainiac is cornered by teenage Superman, the Maniac teases him, knowing that whatever he does, he'll have the last laugh. In a fit of rage, Clark sends him flying into an electrical grid. He then shoves cables through his chest, frying the villain from the inside out.
You'll never hurt anyone else ever again.
He didn't just want to finish Brainiac, he wanted him to suffer. Number 8. Cranky Superman. Batman the Brave and the Bold. Kryptonite can't only remove the Man of Steel's powers. With a color change, this material can wreak arguably worse havoc. During Battle of the Superheroes, Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen are tricked by Lex Luthor into exposing Superman to red kryptonite. This drastically changes his personality to that of a sadistic, heartless grade-A meanie. He tries to kill Toyman, disowns Krypto the Superdog, and becomes the self-proclaimed king of Metropolis.
Now hear this, citizens of Metropolis! I am in charge now! Kneel before King Superman!
He completely disregards and actively seeks to kill his friends, but Batman manages to stop him before he can do too much damage.
Are you all right?
Yes, I think so. I'm sorry, Batman. I don't know what came over me.
Number 7. Superman Awakens. Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Get down!
In perhaps the most anticipated moment in the Justice League movie, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, and Batman all join forces to resurrect a dead Kal-El to prepare for Steppenwolf's invasion. But as he wakes up, he's got a little more than the morning crankies.
Kal-El, no!
Completely turning against his allies, Superman pummels everyone on the team, dropping them one by one, completely outmatching their abilities. With Batman being the last left standing, Supes drops him down to size with some devastating heat vision, which not even the Bat's gauntlet can fully absorb.
Clark, no!
It's only when Lois Lane arrives that he's able to snap out of his raging state. Otherwise, things might have gotten a bit out of hand. Number 6. Clark Kent vs. Evil Superman. Superman 3. Superman breaks bad again. After being exposed to synthetic kryptonite, Superman gets drunk and starts wreaking havoc. When the good-natured Clark Kent splits from him, things start to get serious. The two duke it out, dealing savage, superpowered blows to each other. What's particularly notable about this moment is that while we expect evil Superman to get savage, his good side doesn't hold back either, tossing his dark counterpart into a pool of acid. Eventually, Kent gets the upper hand and chokes out his other self, allowing the two to fuse and become whole again. Number 5. Superman takes down Doomsday. The Death of Superman.
I don't know what hole you crawled out of, or where you came from, but I'm sending you back.
Every time the Blue Boy Scout takes on one of the universe's deadliest aliens, we know we're in for an awesome scene. Seeing Supes pick up a kryptonite spear and beat Doomsday after being impaled was pretty fantastic. However, Clark gets an even more impressive moment in the animated movie. After Doomsday defeats all of the Justice League, Superman becomes Earth's last stand against the beastly Doomsday. The Kryptonian eventually gives everything in his body to attack the villain one last time. Superman's final blow breaks his foe's neck instantly. Although Clark doesn't survive the battle, he won the war against Doomsday in an absolutely beastly way.
Is he?
Yes. You did it.
Number 4. Killing General Zod, Man of Steel. Many stories about this invincible hero tend to be more about moral choices than overcoming the odds. As a result, going beast mode in this entry didn't mean losing his temper, but breaking the one rule that separates him from his enemies.
If you love these people so much, you can mourn for them.
Kal-El gets General Zod in a headlock, but Zod is about to kill a trapped family, and Superman faces a difficult decision. In a move that proved controversial, Superman crosses a line that he never thought he would. He gives in and savagely breaks his fellow Kryptonian's neck, leaving him lifeless on the floor. Superman may have saved lives, but he had to dig into a dark place to do it. Number 3. Superman overwhelms the Kryptonians. Superman 2. Christopher Reeves' portrayal of the hero was more optimistic and less edgy than more recent interpretations. This is why Superman taking down his enemies when they're helpless seems so darkly out of character. After cornering him in the Fortress of Solitude, Zod orders Superman into a crystal chamber, hoping to expose him to red sunlight and remove his powers. However, Superman planned for this. He reversed the process, exposing his enemies while keeping himself safe, leaving them entirely powerless. He crushes Zod's hand with an iron grip and sends him falling into an endless pit, his posse joining him shortly after. Afterward, Kent can't help but smirk as it all came together.
Hey, you know something? You're a real pain in the neck.
Number 2. Superman vs. Darkseid. Justice League Unlimited.
Excuse me.
Since Superman is so powerful, it can be hard to know if he's using his full capabilities. That wasn't in question during the acclaimed animated series Justice League Unlimited when Kal-El comes face to face with the Lord of Apocalypse.
That man won't quit as long as he can still draw a breath. None of my teammates will. Me? I've got a different problem.
Lecturing him about how delicate his world is, the Dark God starts to realize what he's gotten himself into as our red and blue protector sends shockwaves across the city. Here, we, as the audience, get a glimpse of what a pissed-off Superman looks like.
Had enough.
Not quite yet.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Superman loses it. Superman vs. the Elite. Ever wonder what had happened if Superman lost it? Enter Manchester Black and his team, the Elite. This superhuman gang thinks that killing is the best way to deliver justice and keep the peace. Our Boy Scout disagrees, and the two come to blows. Superman is sent into a seizure by Black's psychic abilities and then blasted into oblivion. Or so it seems. He takes out the team one by one, declaring that killing is the answer after all. He even burns out part of Black's brain. Fortunately, it was all a trick to isolate and remove their powers. Well, except Black's lobotomy. That was real. And now we know that if Superman gave in to his darker instincts, no one would stand a chance.
This isn't you! You don't do this!
I do now.
When Superman is letting loose completely, is there any fictional character who could stop him? Let us know below.